Oh man, I'm only on my 4th video and I'm already here clickbaiting and making these kind of videos. Yeah, I know how it looks. Just hear me out, alright? And I promise this isn't gonna become like a normal thing. I just wanted to make this video because this is a topic in particular that is like been frustrating me for a while now. I just want to start this video out by clarifying that I am not a highly skilled Elden Ring player. I would say I am pretty good, I like to think I am, but I am no expert level player. But I love Elden Ring, and I love Elden Ring Nightreign. And I am making this entire video because of my love for this game. Starting off a bit strong, I know. But if you are the kind of person to leave a match early because you don't like how it's going, you're an asshole. Like, that is basically the entire point of this video. If that upsets you, feel free to leave, feel free to click off. It's like, this is, you don't have to watch this. I'm not the kind of person to try and censor myself here on this channel or mince words. Like, I know this entire video will probably get me a lot of backlash from the very kind of people who do this. But I've had way too many runs in my 365 hours on this game where either one or both of my teammates has just bailed. Just bailed on me. Just quitting out the game entirely, leaving either me and my other teammate to pick up the slack, or just me alone. And as someone who will admit they are not really skilled nor competent enough to regularly do solo runs, this really irritates me. If I wanted to play around by myself, I would just change my matchmaking settings to take me on a solo expedition. I do not start whole 40 to 50 minute expeditions on multiplayer matchmaking just to be left hanging. I am literally writing this script right now because this happened to me not even 10 minutes ago. I was playing alongside a Guardian and an Iron Eye player, and we all went to face Estelle in the new Deep of Night mode. We all slipped up and happened to get knocked down, you know? Like, Estelle took me and the Iron Eye out at the same time, seems like the Guardian panicked a bit, and then Estelle managed to catch him off guard, kill him. It happens. Like, it sucks, but it happens. And so I was ready to make my way back to Estelle, and our Guardian was of course following in tow. But then I realized, after looking at the map, our Iron Eye wasn't moving. And immediately after noticing that, what else happened but this person disconnected from the round, leaving me and this Guardian player to unfortunately lose in the end without their help. And it doesn't always even happen like that. I had a round once where I was playing as Guardian myself, and I was getting some really good gear. We had set to face off against Everdark Gladius, or, well, as you might remember him more, Tricephalos. And I had managed to get a Gargoyle's Black Halberd with, I believe, Quickstep. I also upgraded my shield. And I was really excited. I thought this would turn out to be a good run, only for my teammates and I to beat the first night boss. I can't remember exactly who they were playing. I believe one of them was Wilder, and I think the other was Duchess. For the sake of this conversation, we're just gonna go with that. So we beat the first night boss. Like, the storm comes in, the first night is over, we beat that first boss. And, you know, I'm super excited because I'm like, we are like level 8 or 9. I have my upgraded shield, purple halberd, 2 like level 2 weapons. I'm like, the next day is gonna be a breeze. But suddenly, our Duchess drops all of her items onto the ground. Just drops them all out of her inventory onto the floor, and then bows before disconnecting. And I'm left there, just immensely confused. The Wilder and I, we both kind of like stare at each other, equally baffled by what just happened, only for them to then do the exact same thing. Except they didn't drop their items, but they disconnected. They bow and then just disconnect. You know, I'm left there, immensely confused. Just fucking, like, huh? He didn't get it. It was a good round, all things considered. Like, I guess, like, for the Duchess, one could say, like, maybe something came up. Like, let's give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe for whoever was playing, an emergency happened that caused them to have to leave. Like, I'm sure in my 328 expeditions that has happened. But there is no doubt in my mind that the Wilder we were playing with decided to just leave because they didn't want to fight Everdark Gladius with only 2 people. Which I guess is fair, considering it's really easy to get ganked by Gladius, you know, when it splits up into the 3, like, dogs. But, like, I still went on to fight Gladius alone, and I managed to get him below half health. I still lost, but I have no doubt in my mind that with the help of a teammate, I might have been able to win that. And that is what is so infuriating about this. I genuinely do not understand people who leave games early like this. As in, I am not really able to grasp a reason beyond, well, rage quitting. I thought that maybe it could be people wanting to farm for relics more efficiently, you know, not wanting to waste their time on bad runs and then, like, end up with bad relics. But, like, that's not how it works. Like, if anything, that's more inefficient, too. Say that you manage to make it to the Night Lord, but you still lose. You'll still get some small and medium relics to sell for Merc, which can be exchanged at the small jar bazaar for more relics. And you still get, like, at least 1 large relic, even if you lose there at the Night Lord. But by leaving, you get nothing. Nothing at all. So I don't think it's that. I don't think it's, like, them trying to maximize their efficiency and farming for relics. Genuinely, the only conclusion I have been able to reach regarding early quitters is that they just don't like the way the round is flowing. Now, there is a pretty wide spectrum of it, like that Wilder main who left because they probably didn't want to fight a really hard boss with only 2 people, even though the game skill's down. That's not really out of anger or malice, I would argue. But then on the other side of the spectrum, you have like that one guy who we've all dealt with. The one guy who runs off to do an Everjail alone, spam pings everyone else, upset that nobody wants to do it, and that everyone else would like rather get some more levels and gear first. So they end up summoning in like a Godskin duo from said Everjail, they die, and then they leave. They rage quit. And I think that I think like we can all agree is pretty stupid, petty, and kind of scummy. But I want to talk about this because genuinely, I haven't seen that many people doing so. And when I do, for some reason, more people seem to agree that this is fine. Like, that it's okay to do this. When I play Nightreign, I don't quit out of matches. I don't care how it's going, how my teammates are playing, whatever. I do not quit. Not like, I don't rage quit. Like, earlier I was playing around, I had to quit and then rejoin the match because Nightreign was being a bit fucky. It wasn't my main attack button, the basic like light attack button, it wasn't working. But that's different. Like, of course, I understand circumstances like that, like if you get a power outage, or if for some reason you can't reconnect, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about people who like rage quit. Or people who just leave because they don't like the round. They don't like their teammates. I don't do that. I give it my all, and I try to make the most out of a bad situation. Because ultimately, winning matters less to me than just playing the game and having fun. And by that logic, this shouldn't bother me, right? Like, I can still have fun even if I'm down a teammate or two, I'm still playing the game. But you gotta understand, when most of your runs end up having someone who does this, it becomes harder and harder to ignore, like harder and harder to deal with. Because it's just like, again, I don't join multiplayer expeditions to be left hanging like that. Which leads us back. If you are the kind of person to leave a game early because you don't like the way it's going, fuck you. I don't care how many people that upsets. I don't care if other people don't think this is an issue. If it's not an issue for you, that is great. But it is one for me. So if you decide to Alt F4 or force shut down your system or unplug it, all because you are dissatisfied with the run at hand, you are an asshole. You are an awful teammate, and you are an awful player. Just for that. Maybe you're maybe not an awful team player in like, you know, the like skill regard. I doubt that all of the people who like do this are terrible players, but you're an awful player because you're an awful teammate. You're awful at working with other people. Why are you playing a multiplayer game? Why are you playing a multiplayer co-op game if you are that bad at working with others? If you are upset that your teammates don't follow your every move, get over it. Suck it up. Teams don't have one set leader in this game, and you aren't the unspoken decision maker of your temporary crew. And yeah, it can suck when your teammates do stupid shit, or just leave you struggling to fill your arsenal out. And for my Revenant mains, Recluse mains, even my Duchess mains out there, I get the struggle. When you want to clear out some great churches to grab some seals or do a Sorcerer's Rise to get some helpful gear or loot for your build, and your team just doesn't follow, it sucks. And it sucks having to be left behind because your team won't really let you build. But that doesn't mean you leave. You can still get good gear from other sources, from boss drops, from chests, from whatever. You can get seals and stuff from those too, even if it's not guaranteed like it is at those other locations. And even if you don't get that, you can still do good damage with other gear, with weapons that have a holy or magic affinity depending on who you're playing. Maybe the damage output won't be as good as with staves or seals, spells, or incantations, but you can still stay in the fight. If you die, if you and your teammates are dying a lot, get over it or stop playing Souls games. This is Elden Ring. This is a Souls-like. Death is part of the cycle, and yes, I get it. In a game like Nightreign, every second against the clock counts. Deaths can really set you back. But if you, for just 1 second, would have even an ounce of faith in the run, you'd be surprised at what odds you can go up against. This is a lesson I learned for myself during my time in this game. You can go find in one of my old VODs, one of the first VODs of me playing Nightreign, me snapping at my best friend James. I would purposefully throw runs I didn't have faith in the beginning, but he showed me over many expeditions that just because you're a level behind or your gear isn't the best, doesn't mean it's curtains. Honestly, the biggest lesson I had to learn in that area was to have more confidence in my own skills, because the moment I stopped doubting myself, stopped doubting that I could face these challenges, even if I seemed a little behind, the game became more fun. I played to win then, in the beginning, and I made it less fun for myself and for James and for my teammates. But when I started playing just to enjoy the experience, I was able to win more, to enjoy my time playing Nightreign, to just let myself be in it. Death is part of the Souls experience. Losing is part of that experience. You cannot win every single round. You will lose eventually. Even the most skilled and experienced players in this community started out as novices and beginners. They saw those death screens like the rest of us as they started out. But we don't play these games to win. We don't play them because they're easy. We play them because we love the thrill and challenge. We love the feeling of a comeback after we get our asses handed to us and bring it back. We play them because of the precision needed, because of the skill, because it feels so damn good when you take that W. I've even thrown myself into Elden Ring and Elden Ring Nightreign for hundreds of hours because I thought it'd be easy. I've told this story before, but I'll recount it here. I told it on stream, but I'm gonna say it again. Elden Ring was my first time ever playing a Souls-like. I had like minor interest in FromSoft's other titles in the past, but never had the fortune of playing them. Until Steam's Game Share feature let me try out Elden Ring by borrowing it from James. I chose the Vagabond class, I think, and I went through the beginning, though I accidentally skipped the tutorial area. I talked to Vare, though, and I immediately noticed, like so many before me, the Tree Sentinel ahead. And just like those who had come before me, I fought it and died. But I didn't stop there. Now, I wouldn't recommend to most people trying the game out, doing what I did, but I refused to progress at all in the game until I had killed it. I threw myself at it again and again, and it pissed me off. Like, it actually really pissed me off. I still have 2 tiny indents in my monitor from me throwing my controller at the screen, which I promise, I don't do that anymore. Like, Elden Ring, to play Elden Ring and be your, like, big fan, you've really got to grow some thick skin. Well, that's for, like, any FromSoft game. You've got to get used to the losses. But lo and behold, like 9 hours later, I did it. And it felt fucking good to finally win because of how long I was throwing myself at it. And because I felt so accomplished that I had beat this thing because it was so strong. Because of that moment, because of that, like, experience, Tree Sentinels are still my favorite mini-boss in Elden Ring and Nightreign. I'd come to have a lot more moments like that as I continued playing, of course. And now that I think about it, a lot of players apparently just quit Elden Ring after dying to the Tree Sentinel, and knowing I didn't while they did, it filled me with a sense of pride. I pushed through the struggle and braved this sort of like litmus test, this FromSoft rite of passage, to die again and again and get back up anyway. Because that is what these games are about. Persistence. Determination. How in the hell are you going to rage quit, shrink in the face of the main point of these games, and prove you aren't strong enough to handle them, and then like act like some smarmy dickhead blaming your teammates every time for your incompetence? Get good! I know that quote is like a massive meme to this community, but genuinely, fucking skill issue. Not just in the way of you not being able to play well, but mentally. Get over it. Or stop playing Souls games if your fragile little ego can't take a single L. And if you do improve, if my words manage to get through to you and help you to get better, I am glad. I congratulate you for those efforts because you deserve that congratulations. But if you think you're so good and your teammates are always so awful, fucking play solo. Do solo expeditions. Stop dragging other teams down with you. Stop fucking other people over who just want to enjoy this game. If you want people who will let you play team leader and find people... Look, if you want people who will let you play team leader, you want to be the one like calling the shots, you want to be the one saying, we're going here, we're doing this, find people to VC with and play with. You have the entire internet at your hands. You have the entirety of, like, tons of social media platforms to find other people who enjoy this game as much as you do, to build a team that will listen to you. And because I know I will get comments on it asking why I don't, I do. I have quite a few friends who play Nightreign too, but they are oftentimes pretty busy and unable to play at the same times as I do, which leaves me having to play with randoms online. Also, I have massive anxiety and am generally intimidated by the Souls community as a whole, which keeps me from making new friends to play with. And if you are in the same boat with regards to that last point, and that is what is keeping you from making those kind of friends, I feel you. But then don't complain and whine when your teammates outvote you and go to the castle instead of doing a 5th Everjail. Deal with it. If you're the kind of person to quit a round early, you need to pull up your goddamn pants and learn to stop whining like a little baby back bitch. I am sure this video won't even reach that many people, and even if it does, it's not like it's going to change much, but man, it is cathartic, and that's like basically the entire reason I am here. And again, for those in the back, I am not a big voice within the Souls community. In fact, I take a lot of great care to not engage directly with it most of the time. I probably won't respond to most of the comments on this video, and if this video does somehow make it out there into the bigger YouTube sphere, and someone wants to make like a response video or whatnot, or wants to like, you know, they want to like respond to it, whatever, I'm not going to respond to it. I'm not going to make any other videos on this. I'm not going to make any other videos talking more about this topic. I am just really fucking annoyed by people who do this. I just really like Elden Ring and Elden Ring Nightreign. I'm not a god at PvP or even like PvE. I don't know anything about the meta. I just play because I enjoy it. But God, am I so fucking tired of trying to enjoy this multiplayer co-op game while having to deal with some of the worst fucking people at multiplayer co-op. Again, the game has a solo expedition option. If you hate playing with other people that much to where most of your round history just has you leaving early, stop playing with other people. I'm just gonna start going in circles. So I just want to say before I go, for the people coming here right after my winning ticket video, first, thanks for watching, of course. You guys really blew that one up, and I really appreciate it. Second, I am sorry that this is the video you guys are seeing next. Like, I'm sorry that this is what I'm putting out next. I promise the next video won't be like this. Again, this isn't going to be a normal thing. I don't want to be one of those YouTubers who is, like, creating just clickbait videos that stir up controversy or anything like that. I don't even want this to turn into something bigger. I just want to talk about this thing that really pisses me off and like vent almost. But, you know, I promise the next video is not going to be like this. I'm going to start working soon on my Elden Ring Shattering War video, so I can show you guys the Elden Ring fan game, the board game that James and I made in Tabletop Simulator. So, you know, I'll see you then, or whatever the next video is, because that's the next major project. But there might be some stuff in between. It's not going to be like this again. Again, it's just not doing this. This is not like a normal thing. But as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.